What's good, people? Sam O'Reilly with a Fight Talk podcast, joined as always by James from Round 8. Today we're delighted to have Dave Coldwell joining us on the phone. How are you, Dave, mate?
I'm very good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Hello, Dave. Hi, mate. Got the first question, sort of touch on David Price, first of all. Yep. Obviously, we've got to talk in a minute about Anthony Joshua's opponent December 10th. It looks like from the Liga. I know Price was in the frame for it. And of course, there's talks of Klitschko for AJ in 2017. Is there any chance that Price gets a shot at Anthony Joshua anytime soon, next 12 to 18 months? Listen, what we were talking about, there's been a few press releases gone out and things. You know, Price is in training, is there, he's ready. What we said was, look, you know, Eddie seems to be struggling to get hold of an opponent. Once the Vladimir fight fell through, there's no opponent. The clock's ticking. You know, so you're coming towards less than 7 weeks to go until the event. We were saying, look, if you need an opponent, David Price is here, he's ready, and willing to step up. You know, we was looking at Molina. Molina was a name that we was looking at for ourselves for that bill. Now, people saying that, you know, Price, you don't deserve his shot and this, but in an ideal world, I understand what you're saying when, you know, surely Joshua should be fighting bigger names, bigger, you know, more deserving challengers, if you want to say, call it like that. But the problem is when nobody else is there and nobody else is stepping up and saying, yep, I'll take it, then you've got to start being realistic. If Price is seen by somewhere they're saying that he shouldn't be fighting AJ, then how can you look at a guy that's basically we're looking at as Price's next opponent? So, you know, it is what it is, but I'm believing that it looks like it's going to be Molina. So if it is, it is. We'll just carry on and go at what we were doing, you know. I just want Price to be active, regular, and get out there so he can be putting into practice the things that we're working on in the gym, and then, you know, we move forward, and then hopefully we get a shot at AJ or whoever it may be that's got a world title at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he's got a little bit of momentum behind him now, Pricey, after having, you know, quite a few knockbacks and setbacks in his career. Now that Molina's not really a viable opponent for Pricey, what other names are you looking at, Dave?
So now we'll have a look at that between David, MGM, who's his management team, and the Salvans. You know, we'll sit down and we'll see. But we're looking at fighters that are going to push him towards the shot, you know, and make him more of a stronger name in the heavyweight division in order to get hold of a crack at the world title. That's the end game, you know. He's done the British and the Commonwealth through. He's won those titles back in the day, and then, you know, he got beat by Thompson, who was a world level fighter who, you know, just gone the distance with Vladimir Klitschko. And then obviously Teffa beat him, and you know, he talks about guys that have, whatever you want to call it, guys that are on drugs and on steroids. It is an advantage for them, you know, and it makes me laugh how normally when a fighter fails his drug test, that record's changed, you know, that win's changed. Well, Teffa's still walking out with a win on his record against David Price, and Price is still walking out with a loss against his name to Teffa, despite the fact that he failed a drug test. You know, it just seems what we're saying here. Are we saying that it's all right to be, you know, to be on drugs and fail a drugs test? Are we saying that that's fine, fail a drugs test and be out for a few months as though you've probably just, you know, damaged your hand and you're out, or had a bad cut and you're out for a couple of months and then you're back in? You know, that's how it seems to be, you know. But whatever happens, you know, the plan is between MGM, Salons and himself is to get Pricey into a shot for a world title, and he's just got to go out there and perform on the nights, that's all. Now, I had a question coming, sent in from Twitter, from Umar Sadiq. Now, he wanted to ask yourself, how do you pad David Price, considering the size difference? Well, you see, there's quite a few people that seem to be coming out of it. I mean, Manny Stewart weren't exactly tall. Eddie Putsch weren't exactly tall, and they trained heavyweights before. You know, believe it or not, your hands are on the ends of your arms, and your arms do extend above your head. So, you know, I think all it is figure out, you put your arms up in the air. The whole aspect and the whole question should be is, you know, does David Price, does Tony Bellew, does anybody else that's tall that I've trained in the past feel comfortable on the pads with me, and do they feel the benefits on me? That's the question aimed at them. To them, they say it's just the same as being on the pads with anybody else. For me, the work is, as long as I'm fit and I'm strong, I've got strong shoulders. You need strong shoulders to be able to do the pads how I do the pads with those guys. You know, because obviously, you know, the shoulders are taking the full blows of the effort, because I've not got no body behind it. It's down to my shoulders to be able to catch the shots. Now, when we're on pads, I don't do that tippy-tap stuff. You know, it's about explosive and fast and as hard as you can on the pads. So therefore, I must be able to catch the pads right for them to be able to throw them as hard and as fast as what they do.
Just technique.
So, you know,
you mastered the technique, Dave.
Sorry?
You just mastered the technique and you made it work for yourself. Obviously, you've got tall fighters, short fighters, very large fighters.
You know, when Deontay Wilder was over here sparring with David A, for 3 weeks I trained Deontay Wilder. I took Deontay Wilder on the pads. He's about 6'7". When we was in Cyprus for Haymaker, I used to take David Price on the pads back then. You know, there was Cali Meehan. He was a WBA ranked #1 heavyweight there. I took him on the pads. He's about 6'5", 6'4", something like that. We had sparring partners that were imitating Vladimir, who was 6'6", during that camp, and I would be taking them on the pads. So it's not something that's new to me. You know, it's what it is. As long as, you know, I can reach Price's edge. If I can hold the pads as high as Price's edge if I put my arms in the air. Now, there's not many heavyweights that Price is going to be fighting at 6'9" anyway. But the point is, I can put my hands at whatever I need to be. If he's taller than Price, then I'm in trouble. But I don't see us fighting anybody that's taller. You know, people are saying about, why don't you get blocks and things like that on your shoes? But I don't need blocks on my shoes. And also, if I have blocks on my shoes, then it takes away the mobility that when we're working on certain things, and then you're kind of like more static. You know, in that case, you might as well just go on an heavy bag. So, you know, like I said, the question needs to be aimed at the fighters that I train. If you know, Price is a smart cooker. You know, Tony Bellew is a very intelligent fighter, and intelligent when it comes down to boxing and what needs to be done. Now, if those guys felt that the work that I was doing with them was suffering because I'm a short arse, then bottom line is they find themselves somebody else to pad them or train them or say to me, you know, can we get somebody else in to do the pads or anything like that. But I've never, you know, it's never actually been a conversation ever between myself or any of the fighters. I remember originally when Price, he asked me about training him. When he asked me if would I be interested in training him, the first thought I had was, you know, physically for me, because I know what that enables. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. I know I can't hold the pads at normal height. So physically, would I be able to do that? And I said, let's do that. But let's give it a go and let's see how it works. But like I said, I train every single day. Mostly, to be honest, I train 6 days a week. Normally on a Sunday, I have a day off. You've just caught me now as I'm walking out of the gym. So I train every day, basically, to make sure that I'm fit and I'm strong and I can train my fighters and I can, you know, basically do everything that I need to do for my fighters. So as long as I'm doing that, then, you know, it'll never be a problem.
Excellent. Now, Jamie McDonnell, another one of your boys, he's going over Monte Carlo, defending his world title against Liborio Solis. Do you know a lot about Solis?
Yeah, I've watched quite a bit of him. He's good, very good fighter. Very good fighter. Yamanaka, who's a very, you know, he's a lot of people see him as #1. He's a WBC champion and been a WBC champion for a while. He put him on his backside twice when they fought recently. So, you know, he's very dangerous. He's a very good fighter. He's a former world champion, and he's going to present problems, but they're problems that we believe that Jamie McDonnell will overcome. Listen, Jamie could have had an easier defence. We could have picked somebody else, but, you know, he wants the big fight. He wants the fights that are going to give him the butterflies and give him the attention that, you know, after he's beaten these guys and people say, you know what, he was a good fighter. and so then he gets a bit more credit. It's kind of like accepted he's never going to get the credit that he deserves, but whereas before he was all solely based about money, now as well as earning the money and secure his family's future, he wants to have the respect of fighters and fans, but mainly of his peers, you know, and he wants people to recognise him for his achievements. He's had the IBS belt, he's the WBA champ, he's gone over to America and beaten a guy that they expected to beat him, gone back over in the rematch when they give the other guy credit and say, oh, well, now he's figured him out, he'll bash him this time, beat him easy in the rematch. He should have had the WBO title, but that got stripped from Kameda the night before the fight. So, you know, he's been very, very successful. But when we're talking about British world champions, he always seems to be one on the bottom of the list or towards the end of the list. But yet his achievements-wise, he's right up there. You know, he's right up there. And the fact that he's not had the big push and the big, you know, the big fanfare, but yet he still keeps achieving, that tells you kind of, because it's always a lot easier getting yourself into these positions and become high profile and being successful. It's always a lot easier when you get the big push.
You sort of touched on it there. He's very underrated, Jamie. Do you feel that gives Jamie the ability to perform under less pressure?
No, it's not. He's a different kind of kid. Pressure-wise, it doesn't affect him. Every fight, the pressure on Jamie for every fight is knowing that he has to win. Because the simple fact is, as a bantamweight and a bantamweight champion that is always, you know, like I said, tends to be forgotten or not really at the forefront of people's minds when we're talking about a champ, he knows that the minute he loses that title, he's in a very bad position, because then he's the guy. Well, what do we need him for? You know, he's got to keep on winning. So the pressure there for him is to be winning, and is to keep hold of the title. Is to, you know, keep pulling off these great wins, because the minute that he's not, then is he going to get the big backing to be brought back? We'll have to wait and see. But you know, when you're talking about a guy that's not getting the full recognition, then you know you've got to say, well, you know, he has to keep on winning no matter what. So that's where the pressure is.
Yeah, I agree. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. I mean, what will it take, Dave? Does he need a big unification fight with Haskins, or does he need to go up and try and campaign at a different weight?
Listen, we will go up. Going up to super bantamweight is not a problem. Trust me. We was hoping that Quigg was going to be a super bantamweight, and then we would have done this fight and then gone up and fought Scott Quigg. But Scott Quigg got up to featherweight now, so that's kind of like peed on our ideas. But yeah, it will go up to super bantamweight. Hopefully, you know, everything's a plan. Picks up a super bantamweight title, and listen, he'll end up at featherweight. He's a massive kid. You know, and he has to work so hard to get down to bantamweight. You'll see the best of him when he starts moving up the division, because then he's not depleting himself as much food wise and working as hard to make the weight. You know, you'll see the best of him as he moves up in the divisions. So, you know, super bantamweight and then featherweight we're looking at with David Oliver.
Now, I met you back in the summer. We spoke back then, and I asked you a question back then, quite relevant to today. It's basically, I asked you then to talk about David Haye and Tony Bellew. I said, is that real? The answer you gave me was, yes, it could happen early 2017. Now, from your point of view, as a trainer, is it a fight we've got to take next?
Sorry, that last bit just broke up then. You're very muffled.
As for your point of view, from a trainer's point of view, would you like to fight, or would you like Bellew to fight Haye next?
Yeah, you know, that's the biggest fight out there for him. You know, Tony Bellew wants the big fights. You know, he's earned his dues in boxing. You know, he went over to Canada. He fought the number one guy in the division there. He's come back over. He's rebuilt at a cruiserweight. He became European champion in a fight where a lot of people thought he was going to get beat. And then in a fight where everyone thought he was going to get knocked out, he ended up becoming a world champion. So, you know, the main thing for me now is the fights that give him that hunger and that desire. I want him to secure his family, and I want him to get out of the game with all his faculties intact and look back on his career and have all the boxes ticked so that when he does get out of the game, he's not tempted to come back. Now, he's become WBC champion. If a fight with David A can come off, then that ticks a lot of boxes for him, because that's a fight that gets his juices flowing. It gives him the fear factor, but it also gives him the massive challenge that he wants, and also it pays him financially. So if we can get that fight, then that's happy days. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we'd love.
Now, you know Tony better than most people. Do you understand, or can you see why some people thought he may have been, maybe a little bit overzealous, or the way he approached Hay after the Flores knockout?
Oh, listen, he wears his art. If you don't know Tony Bellew by now, then you don't know boxing, because that is him. He wears his art on his sleeve. He's the nicest guy in the world, out away from his boxing career. I mean, if he, when you're not involved with his fight, you haven't got a fight coming up, or it's not on the fight night, or he's the nicest guy in the world. But when it comes to his career, his fight, his art's on his sleeve. It means absolutely everything to him. So he says it how it is on the tin. What's on his mind, he'll say it. Now, David A was the one that first brought this up. David A was the one that first spoke to Tony Bellew about fighting him. But because people don't know that and aren't aware of that, they just think that Bellew is getting ahead of himself and shouting his gums off. But it's not. He was the one that brought it up. Bellew was the one that said, "No, I've got a Masterneck fight." He wanted Bellew to pull out his fight against Masterneck. Come and fight on my bill, and then we'll fight. They've had some. There's been a bit of tension between them for a long time. But the fact that he tried to get him to pull out his fight, to go and box on his bill, he's the one that brought it up. So as soon as Bellew fulfilled his dream of becoming the champion, that was his main goal. And he's always said, "Look, my main goal is to become cruiserweight champion of the world." So he's never even brought that back up again. And as soon as he won that title, then that was it. He's achieved what he set out to do. And he said, "Listen, you're getting it. Here you go." So then he's gone after it. But people just think it's Bellew again. Listen, he is what he is. He says what's on his mind, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. And at the end of the day, people forget. It's all right for David A to go chasing after Klitschko to get that fight, and to have pictures with heads cut off and stuff like that. To be fighting in a press conference, which is all before that, they made their fight. But yeah, Bellew wants to wear his heart on his sleeve and just act on impulse. After that, listen, that was an eye-opening fight. You've got a lot of pressure on Bellew for that fight, and then you've got Hay there telling everybody in the world that Bellew's not got any chance of beating Flores. He wasn't even giving him a puncher's chance. He said he's got no chance. If you remember, he was saying beforehand, he sparred countless rounds with Flores and never hurt him. And Flores he's got a great chin. He's strong. He punches. He's got a great jab. He's got a great boxing ability. So Hayes telling everybody that Bellew's got no chance whatsoever, totally writing him off and disrespecting him as a champion, not giving him even a puncher's chance. So then, when you stick David A at ringside, and Bellew's just gone out there and had a tear up, his adrenaline's still pumping, then you're going to get a reaction, aren't you? And we got a reaction, and it is what it is. That's just Tony. That's how he is. We've seen him react before. I don't know why people are surprised. He's reacted in the past before. It is Tony Bellew. This is what I'm saying. If you don't know, if that sort of stuff surprises you, it is what he is. It's not. He just wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's very, very passionate. He's very passionate. He's very, very loyal, and he's very passionate.
Also on that night at the Echo Arena was another cruiserweight, Breedis, 21 after that night. Is that an option for Tony?
Yeah, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. So if we, if we can't, if we don't do the Hay fight, and if we can't make the Lebedev fight, then it looks like it's Breedis. But in that order, really, that's for me as his coach. That's what we're hoping for. David A, if it's on, it's on. Great. If it's not, then let's see if we can do Lebedev for the unification. And if not, then we'll just do the mandatory and Breedis.
Now, moving on. Last time, I think I interviewed you in Covent Garden when Tom Doran, the guy you managed, was fighting Chris Eubank Jr. How is Tom? I haven't heard from him for a little while. What's happening with him?
Yeah, he's alright. He's alright. He had a bit of time out. He's alright. He's just back training now, and we'll be looking to get him out in the new year. He'll be back.
Just ticking over, yeah.
That was a big experience for him. That was. It was a massive experience for him, and he's made great strides over the last couple of years, and his profile and everything, and he's done well, and now he wants to, he's regrouped, and now he wants to crack on and let's go again.
Now, I see we've had the Olympics fairly recently, and even more recently had sort of Paddy Barnes, Kate Taylor will turn over to pro. Today, Lawrence Coley tweeted, he sort of hinted that he was going to sort of turn over to cruiserweight.
Yeah.
How do you think he was doing that weight, and how do you see his...
Oh, he's a good kid. He's a good kid, and he seems like... I'm not going to profess to know the kid, but I've met him a couple of times. I like his attitude. I like, he's one of these kids that doesn't think that it's just going to happen naturally for him. He believes in hard work, and I think he'll do well. And again, something like him, there's no actual real rush with him. I think if they bring him on nicely, then he's a fighter that can end up doing something.
I was with Isaac Chamberlain last night, and I told him you were coming on the podcast, and he wanted me to ask you what are your thoughts about him. Obviously, he just came through a war with Wadi Camacho, and his dream is to be world champion. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, just on him.
On him as a fighter, he just said, "What do you think of him?"
He's a nice. Listen, I like him as a kid first and foremost. I think he's a lovely kid. I once watched a documentary before I really met him. I watched a documentary that was on, I think Sky put out, and it was a really good insight into him. He seems a really, really nice kid. Very, very grounded, he seems. But as a fighter, I think he's got great talent. He's got great talent. I think James Cook. I spoke to James Cook about him once in the past, and James said that he's got great talent. He's got great attitude. He's got a lot of tools that you need to succeed in this business. So I think I'm interested to see how he develops. I think I didn't see the Camacho fight, but he showed that he's got some minerals, because I heard his if I'm right, his shoulder popped out or something, and he basically put it back in and carried on. Listen, that takes some minerals like you've never known. I mean, that ticks a box that nobody knows what they're going to do until it happens to them. Nobody knows that. I think the closest thing I've ever heard of that is when Danny Williams did. His shoulder was out and he carried on and he knocked out Mark Potter. But for a young kid to be doing that and to be coming through, because listen, Camacho is an underrated fighter. He's improved. He's actually improving over the last 18 months, year. So that shows his minerals, and it shows what he's about. It shows how much he wants to win, and you can't train that into a kid. A kid either wants to win badly and is willing to do anything in order to win, or he doesn't, or he's got a point where he'll quit. And he had every excuse and every reason to quit in that fight. When your shoulder pops out, that's usually a sign to say, "Whoa, hang on a minute, I can't go on." But he showed what he's about, and that for me, when you've got a kid that's got talent and that's slick and flash, a lot of times they don't have the minerals to go with that. I'm not saying all. I'm saying a lot of times the flashness and
I know what you mean.
The boastfulness usually covers a defect in him, where when you put it on him, then sometimes he can kind of fold or feel sorry for themselves and things like that. But he showed in that fight that he ticked that box. He's got the toughness to go with it. So I'm quite excited to see how he develops. And I hope. I mean, look, he's only a young kid, but I hope his shoulder heals up really, really well, and he had no lasting effects from it. And we'll see how his career pans out.
Yeah, 100%. James and I were both ringside, and first of all, you could see it protruding out. I mean, it wasn't a little bit. It was a bad one.
Yeah.
And Eddie was Yeah, Eddie was saying to his corner, look, pull him out. It will come back. He'll come and do it again. And he just had none of it, and it was so impressive to see a kid like that.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see where he goes from there. I know he wanted to fight in November.
There's kids. This is what I'm saying. There's kids. You know, if you've got a kid that's a war merchant, and every time he goes to fight, he's rough, he's tough, he's a tough man. He trades on his toughness. He likes to go out there and have a battle. You know, I'm not saying he'd do that, but I'm saying when those kind of kids show a certain level of fortitude and toughness, you kind of expect him. You kind of expect him to show that. You'd be like, yeah, he's hard and he's hard as nails. You look at something like Chamberlain, and you don't see him as being hard as nails. You see him as being slick, flash, skillful, but you don't think he's a tough so-and-so as well. And then when they do something like that, you're like, whoa, I did not see that coming. And you know, when we were talking about that, I'll put my hands up. I thought, wow, I wouldn't have expected that from him. But you know, listen, I was wrong about something before. I remember Anthony Crowler. He's a kid, you know, because he's such a nice kid, a lovely, lovely kid. Again, you don't associate toughness with him. When somebody's so nice and they don't show no edge, you kind of. It's not that you don't give him credit, but you don't expect it, or you don't see him as being tough and hard as nails. Well, Crowler's one of the hardest guys in boxing. You know, he's a tough so-and-so, and you know, keeps proving it fight after fight. And that's what I'm saying. You know, Chamberlain, Isaac, he's one of those kids that I saw coming through. And again, I didn't ever associate him as being tough. And now I'll never look at him and not think he's tough again, because he's proven it beyond any expectations or shadow of a doubt. He's proven just how tough he is.
Most definitely.
You train a number of fighters. And who's the hardest trainer in the gym?
I would have to say that's a tough question, because they all do everything I ask them to, and they all train really, really hard and well. But I would have to say the most focused, determined, and hardest working fighter probably that I've ever come across, or top two. Well, the only one that could push him close is Curtis Woodhouse, but I would say that Bellew, he's just got a drive and a determination that's just, everybody in the gym kind of looks up to that. They notice that, so that kind of lean, you know, that you can see that he's a man that stands out, sort of thing. Before he won the world title, you know, everybody kind of like looks at his attitude and how he is. Doesn't matter. Listen, that world title fight, we had that many problems, for, you know, having injuries, and then the BJ Flores fight as well. He was ill and things like. Seriously, where I'm worried as a coach, I'm thinking, flipping out, things are just going wrong here. But yet he's got such an attitude. I'm big on not having any negativity in the gym, and not, you know, if something goes bad, there's a flip side to it. So we flip it around, and I don't, you know, I don't have negatives. And he's very much on my page with that. And when something goes wrong, all right, we deal with it and we get on with it and we work around it. And his attitude and everything is second to none. And that's a massive factor and a massive reason why he's become WBC World Champion, despite so many people saying he never would be, despite so many people saying he's crap, he's this, he's that, he's just fat, he's lazy, he's blah, blah. Listen, he's the hardest working kid in the room. Just because he don't look like Anthony Joshua, don't mean he don't work hard.
Another question regarding your stable was sent in. They want me to push you. Who you, relationship-wise, who would you say are you closest with in your... I mean, you seem to have a very close relationship with all your boys, but if there was one that you sort of have a little connection with more than the others, who would that be?
Yeah, I'm close. Listen, it's a tight-knit team. We're all close, but Bellew is the closest. He's probably my closest friend outside my family, I would say. So yeah, without a doubt, him. That's why. He's the only reason why I came back to training fighters, because I was done with it and I was out of the game. I was out of the game as a trainer, and he asked me if I hadn't been good friends. Listen, I'd been friends with Bellew for just before he turned pro. So we've been close ever since then. So it's been a long time. So I've known him the longest. And then probably Price is the second, because obviously we're the haymaker days. But Bellew I've been close with the longest. So when he asked me to come back to boxing and come back to training because he wanted me to work with him, that was the only reason. If we hadn't have been friends, then I wouldn't have trained him. I wouldn't have come back. I was happy. I was happy without staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning watching fighters, studying fighters on YouTube, and I was happy not getting blasted on the pads and getting mocked for being a short arse training these big fighters. So I was happy with life before that. But because of Bellew, I came back, and because of him, then it ended up how I ended up training the twins, really, I suppose, although that was just circumstances with the flight and everything. But if I wasn't an actual trainer, then I wouldn't have trained the twins. And again, if it wasn't for Bellew originally, then David Price wouldn't have come along. So I wouldn't have had all these great nights that I'm having now if it weren't for him. So that's why he had to become a world champion. I said that to I talked to my wife before the McDonnel fight. He had to win that fight. I felt so much pressure going into that fight because I'm having success with Jamie McDonnell and things like that, and I felt like I owed him to become a world champion, to help him become a world champion, because I wouldn't have been having these great nights and people talking about me the way that they are doing if he had never have asked me to come back to coaching fighters. So when he won that world title, the minute he knocked out Makabu, that's when I just lost. That's why I just lost all levels of coolness about me, and it just went out the window. Crying my eyes out, happy, screaming, jumping up and down like an idiot. That was what that meant. That meant everything that night, and it's just fitting that he did become a world champion.
Now, I asked you a minute ago, who's the hardest trainer in the gym? Might not get an answer for this one. Who's the laziest?
Nobody's lazy. Straight up, there's nobody that's lazy. Not at all. For starters, I wouldn't train anyone. I wouldn't bring anybody. I wouldn't waste my time with anybody. My time is the most precious thing in the world for me, because I've got kids, and if I'm not training my fighters, then it means that I can spend time with my kids, or I can do stuff that I want to do, outside the gym. So anybody that I work with 4 fighters as a coach, and I get asked a lot if I'll train other people and stuff. But being honest, I might take one more on. I might not. I don't know. I don't know. But I certainly won't take anybody on that hasn't got the right attitude. And so therefore, the guys that are in the gym, if I say I want just say, because they all train at different times, just say 9:30, I want you in the gym at 9:30. If it's 9:31, 9:32, 9:31 I'll let them off. 9:32 I'll send a text message, where are you? And they'll probably walk through the door at 9:33. I'll just send that text message sends. That's just how I am. And everybody does everything that I ask them to, but there's no reason not to, because when I ask them to do something, I'll show them what I want them to do. I'll explain to them why I want them to do it, and then when a fighter gets why they're being asked to do something, they want to do it because they know that it's going to improve them. So the old work. It's not about working hard. It's about working smart and doing things that are going to work. And we've got a good bunch of lads. There's a lot of banter in the gym when they pass through each other, and you don't, like I said, they don't always train together. They don't train together at all, but you just have time to train together. But they overlap, and when they're all in the gym, banter's great, but the work gets done, and it seems to be, the results seem to be going our way. So something's going right.
Your last answer has led on to a question. You said you may maybe one space you'd take one more fighter. I was going to ask you, looking around at young prospects, which young fighters do you admire that you would like to train them in the future? If it's possible or not possible, just got a youngster that you look and think, yeah, I'd like to be a part of his training.
That's a pro now.
Yeah, a young prospect. You think is
Nah, you
development.
see, I would never name names because that's kind of like disrespectful to their trainers they've got now. So I would never name names, to be honest, of who's around now and who's pro now. I've never, contrary to what people want to think or whatever, I've never asked anybody to train. I've never asked anybody. People's come to me, and that's how it is. I've never gone and asked a fighter to come work with me because I think I'm not big enough to think that, to go up to a kid and say, oh, come and train with me. Turn around and say, what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not over that position. Who are you? I'm not having that. So I would never put myself out there. If I'm flattered that people want to come and work with me and put their career in my hands as a coach. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. But I'd never go out there and chase somebody, because listen, if you go and chase somebody and it goes wrong, then you can only get blamed for it. If somebody comes up my door and says, can you train me? And I'm shit with them, then I can only turn around and say, well, listen, you come to me. That's what it's doing. Not happened yet, thank God. But there's a lot of good fighters, a lot of good young fighters out there. There is a lot of good young fighters out there. But a lot of it is, it's actually, I've worked with journeymen, I've worked with area title level fighters, I've worked with, British, European, Commonwealth, and world champions. It's all about your attitude. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not willing to do what it takes to succeed, then you'll not fulfill your potential. And if you're not willing to give 100%, then I'll give 100% to anyone that gives me 100%. And then once it starts fading, I'm like, well, why are you going to keep banging your head against the wall? You can't expect a coach to give up his time and and his energies and take the hammer on his body if you're only going to give 75%. You train hard, this, and then you walk out of the gym and you go to McDonald's, or you do this or you do that. What's point? So you need to have the same sort of commitment that I give, and that's my fighters that work with me know how I work, and they know when it comes to, when I'm asking them to give more, and I'm asking them, if we're doing whatever, if we do a little strength circuit after, or a fitness circuit after, or whatever, I do it with them. There's nobody that can turn around and say, oh, you do it then. Because I am doing it with you. So if I can do it at 41 years old, what's your excuse when you're a professional boxer? And so my guys know our work, and they like our work, obviously, otherwise they've gone elsewhere, really. But there are some good kids out there, but you have to know what they like personality-wise. And a few kids that look at and that are ready to get pro, maybe turn pro, maybe. I think, well, I think he'd have the right attitude. I think he'd do something, and that's how I think it's exciting times for British boxing.
And finally, from me, you've got your man of many talents, your manager, trainer, promoter. I mean, long-term future. Anything else you're looking to looking to going into, really?
I don't have time. No, I do not have time. Listen, I love this sport. I love what I'm doing. I'm just I'm fortunate that I get to make a living out of doing something that I don't call work. It's not a job as such. I'm just doing something that I said to my kids, "Oh, that's right. I'm going to gym." I don't say, "All right, I'm going to work." I'm going to the gym, and I could be going to the gym to go and train for myself and keep fit, or I could be going to go and actually train the fighters, because I don't call it I enjoy the big nights. I enjoy successful nights, and I cry my eyes out at the bad nights. I've had some bad nights in boxing, and that's how it is. You live it. I think it's not just it can't just be a business. The worst part of what I do, or not so much now, but what I do, is the promoters. I don't like being a promoter. I was a promoter mainly because just to get my fighters work, because it's very, very hard if you don't. But on that respect, there's a lot of pressure because there's no money in it as a promoter without TV. If Eddie's always moaning about tying up the figures and he's got Sky backing him, then what do you think everybody else does? Your Carl Greaves, your Steffi Bulls, yourself, you people in Birmingham, your Errol Johnsons and Steve Woods in Manchester. Everyone's pulling their hair out trying to keep kids busy. But there's got to be, they have to be on a business level as well. You can't keep losing your dough on kids. But then your heart is in it where you're thinking, flipping heck, I want to put him out, but I just can't do it. That's promoting side. So the promoting side I don't like. I enjoy it when the fans go home and they're happy because they've had a great night, great fights, and the atmosphere has been great. I enjoy that side of things. But I don't like that side of things because it's more business side, because you need to pester them to sell tickets. And then when a kid turns up and says, "Oh, I've sold 35 tickets," you're like, "What?" And or if they're on a ticket deal and they've not done enough tickets to make a good wage, and you think, well, you feel sorry for them, but there's nothing you can do about it because you've not got the Bank of England behind you. So it's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
It is very, very difficult. So that's the side of boxing that I don't like. But the managing, guiding a kid's career and things, I love that. The aggro that comes with it, I kind of like. I love that as well. I get, I like the challenges of that. It's like you'll fall out with people, just not fall out bad, but you have arguments and things like that where you're trying to do deals and somebody's being a bit of an arse and they just won't budge and things and that. But then you back around to the next fight and you're back, having a bit of banter with him again. It is what it is. There's a lot of pressure to it, but you have to understand how it works. And then the coaching side, like I said, I love seeing fighters. I love seeing what you're working day in, day out come off in a fight. But also you're very, very nervous going into that fight because you've done the work, but you can't actually do anything once that bell goes. I hate that walk when you've gone to the centre of the ring, referee final instructions, you turn back round, you walk back round, you say that last thing to them, and then you duck in through the ropes, you climb down them steps. I hate that bit because that's the bit where I'm probably not making the most nervous because I'm thinking, as he absorbs that, is he going to do what was planned, or is it just gone through one ear and out through the other? So that's the exciting part. The fight night's the exciting part, but so much more to the training side that goes with it. And like I said, I've done it for a long time. People think I've just popped up and tell you with my first fighter, but I had my first gym I think in 2000. I've been training since 1996. I've been around a long time.
And you've acquired a massive amount of knowledge, mate. And listen, we appreciate every minute of you sharing it with us.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate you having me. And listen, I'm only here where I am now because of the people that I've worked with. I've been very, very lucky to. I started off in the Ingle gym, but surrounded by fighters like Johnny Nelson, Slugger O'Toole, Bomber Graham, Naz, even Martin Smith, and seeing what they went through as fighters. You learn a lot through that. And then I was a house second for Frank Warren, and I used to just listen as I'm holding this spit bucket and trying to pull my little arms away from my face so you can't bucket won't splash into my face. Then but I've been listening and listening to people like Jimmy Tibbs or Peter Freitas, Bill Nelson, a lot of trainers, a lot of good trainers have and handed up to him big fights, and I've just listened. So, and then, obviously I learned a lot working with Adam Booth. Adam Booth, such a knowledgeable man, and so I learned a lot with him as well. And so I'm very fortunate to have worked with some good trainers, but then also with some good fighters and good characters. And I'm talking about the guys that I had where, we were on the 6'2" level. Danny Thorpe, he was a journeyman that fought a lot of good fighters. If you can get a fighter through without getting hurt when they're fighting the big name prospects, you can learn to do that and know how to negate what the big time fighters are doing when you're the away fighter. You're learning on the job. You're learning about boxing. It's not always about being on top and winning. You got to know what to do when your man's in trouble or your man's getting a bit of a beating or you've got to avoid him getting a beating. Thorpe against Amir Khan, Thorpe against Kevin Mitchell, they were big fights. Because I knew what it meant to him. For a journeyman to be in them sort of fights. So I've worked with some good journeymen as well against some really good fighters. And then obviously, Ryan Rhodes coming back, and we ended up winning British, WBC International, won the European title, held up one British title. So I've worked with some good fighters before this run, and then now this run, I'm just working, with some quality fighters. But like I said, one of the hardest working fighters, other than Bellew, was Curtis Woodhouse. And for him, the story with him and coming from football to become British champion, that's a massive thing. That's a massive part of my career. So it's been
some
a good,
achievement,
been a good run.
Some achievement.
If it all packs up after these four, then I've had a good run, so I'll be happy.
Well, we'll leave it there, mate. Listen, again, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, and it's been a pleasure having you on the Fight Talk podcast.
Cheers, mate. Nice one, mate.
Take care.
Thank you very much.